Yes, dude.
All right.
We've been rolling for like a minute now.
This is the intro, bro. We're done.
There you
All
go.
right, welcome back, guys.
Shut up.
All right. Fun fact of the day. Let's go. Or second fun fact. Third fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
There's only one U.S. state capital without a McDonald's, which is strange.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Montpelier, Vermont. Doesn't have any of those golden arches. Also happens to have the smallest population of any state capital with just like 7,500 residents.
Wow.
And find out the farthest you can possibly be from McDonald's in the United States.
Huh.
That's
Okay. That is an interesting fact, actually.
Yeah.
Especially for states, man.
Yeah, really.
Like,
Yeah.
The fattest country in the world.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like the population's so small too for a capital.
Yeah, that is small.
7,500 residents. I don't know when this fact was like that. Like,
Well, you think
This decade.
as things went on, I suppose. But
yeah, you think there'd be more people now, or at least McDonald's there. Like,
I mean, we have one every like 20 minute drive, not even.
yeah,
yeah, literally.
Like,
it's like
no
McDonald's
jokes.
and then Tim Hortons and then piggybacking each other.
Well, there's about 2 Tim Hortons from a 10-minute radius
Oh yeah.
from here.
Okay.
Like, there's one like 2 minutes from me, and then there's another one like about 10 minutes down that
Okay.
way. Like, it's just too much
Usual.
fast food, man. Too much fast
Too
food.
much shitty coffee.
I mean, I
But
don't even drink coffee, so that's okay.
You're chilling. Soda water, man. Number one.
I would try to avoid pop. That's the thing.
Smart.
Yeah.
Get those soda machines.
I would. I just don't think I have counter space right now in a new apartment. That's the horror. We blew a fuse today trying to set
Oh,
everything
man.
up.
Shit, okay.
Well, I mean, you can imagine I got all my desks set up, and then the computer and the TV with internet and everything
Okay,
else over
yeah.
here, and then the microwave and all that crap over here. Like it all just
Oh yeah, it's one. Yeah.
one bedroom. There's not a lot of space.
The breaker's gonna go easily.
Oh yeah, we did it 3 times. It was kind of
It's
fun.
not your problem though.
No, I mean, hey, we at least we can actually hit the fuse ourselves and
Okay, you got the
set it
there you
back. So
Okay.
we'll figure it out one of these days.
go. That's good.
Well, I'll introduce the guest then, since we've been talking for a little bit. He runs his own production company called Hidden Beats. He has photographed many artists such as Shawn Mendes, Snoop Dogg, and Lil Mosey. Welcome, Tom Mt.pleasant.
Howdy.
Nice, I got that right.
There you go.
Good.
Right
I was worried about that. Welcome back to Born to Create podcast, guys. This will be part 1 of a part 2 episode. We're going to talk a lot about like concert photography and go into that. And then part 2 will be talk about running a company. Make sure to like and subscribe to all that fun stuff. Give us a nice 5-star rating on iTunes and on Spotify. Helps a lot. And make sure to check us out on Instagram at Born to Create Podcast. Yeah, let's get right into this.
Yeah.
Let's go. So how's your day going?
I mean, I'm here. That's a good sign.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Right.
Very true.
Long day at the office and then, work after that. So work all day, every day.
Okay. What's your like average day kind of look like?
I do a 9 to 5 with the government.
Okay.
So that's where I make most of my money. And then literally come home, let the dogs out, and start editing or planning or whatever I couldn't do at the time. So I'm working typically 14 hours a day on average.
Shit, putting in that work.
Oh, yeah, you got to. Otherwise, things fall.
Difficult set day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very true. Very true.
long days.
So how'd you get started with photography?
Honestly, local artist Cyrus asked me to come out and shoot a show for him one day, and I said sure. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. I just started shooting more stuff, met with some promoters, and started getting into their shows, and it just turned into a business, really.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't really planned, but it kind of worked out nicely. So
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. I guess that kind of explains
told you, bro.
the next 2 questions I had, but it's
we
all
had a
good.
30-minute conversation over these 2 questions. I
Oh,
told
yeah?
him it's the
Well, the
same
next
question
one's
twice. So the second question is, what drew you into concert photography? Which you pretty much
yeah.
right?
And then the other one was how did you shoot your first concert, which kind of explains it. Actually,
Well, I mean, we could go big concert if you want.
yeah.
It's like my first big stadium concert was Arkells at Canadian Tire Center.
Okay.
And that was purely luck. You have to apply through Live Nation and hope that they accept you. So I had built up enough of a following, and I take some pretty good shots, I think, anyways. And they send it to their publicist, and they accept you and go shoot a big show.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I mean, if you don't have a publication behind you, or you don't have a following behind you, you're not getting into something like that. It's unless you find a way to go in through the band or something different. It's hard to get into those.
Yeah, that's fair. That was my way of getting into Blues Fest. Actually, just went into the band.
Oh yeah, it's if you get in through a band, you're okay. I can get in, like I have a big enough following. Blues Fest, I'm pretty much a walk on every time at this point. I mean, unless they hear this and say you're cocky, screw you. But last year for Blues Fest, I had in the whole city, if I'm not mistaken, the most content delivered out of the whole festival.
Was that just you personally, or was that
No,
like your company as well?
Well, Hidden Beats in
Okay.
general.
Yeah.
So I had me plus 2 other people kind of tag teaming different stages and going back and forth, and we had a reviewer going back and forth around it. It was just we had 3 people basically all day every day.
Damn, that's pretty sweet,
Smart.
man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Like, what's your favorite spot to shoot from, or your top spots to shoot from?
Like we're talking.
So like, do you like on stage? Do you like front stage, completely way back with the crowd in front?
I like front stage if it's not crazy high, because if you
Yeah.
can actually get a nice visual. This year Blues Fest we had Youngblood. Stage was not too high, and he's very dynamic on stage. The guy's crazy. I'll jumping all over the place. So when you're front stage, you get that interaction right at the camera level, and it makes for the most amazing shots. Like that's my go-to. If you go far back, you can get some cool shots, but that's more like an EDM thing. You want the lights, you want the smoke, the fireworks, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's okay in a sense. On stage, I don't think you get as dynamic a shot. It just, to me, that's not as exciting. You get the crowd cool and stuff like that, but 1 or 2 shots, the rest look the same after.
Yeah.
So front stage for me, it's the way to go. 100%.
Sweet. Yeah.
What's your favorite venue that you shot at?
Favorite venue?
Yeah.
Jeez. I think I've shot at every local venue. Bourbon Room was always a go-to. We developed a good relationship there, so sad that they closed down recently.
They closed down.
Yeah, like last week or something like that.
Whoa, did not hear about that.
Yeah, I did not know about that.
It just it wasn't sustainable anymore. So
All right.
yeah, buy Bourbon Room
Damn.
on to the next one.
yeah, and then People Nightclub closed recently too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they opened up the Hudson.
Yeah, they changed things up, and they've also got
Still the same owner.
Yeah, it just they had to change it from the hookah bar. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Because hookah's not allowed. It's banned or whatever it was, and they couldn't sustain that or get the licensing for that. So it's a switch up. It works for them. It's nice but I mean, I've shot, like I said, everywhere. So Bourbon Room's probably my favorite because we developed such a good relationship. I could pretty much go anywhere in there.
Yeah.
And shoot anything wherever I wanted. We hooked up GoPros all across the whole place at one point to shoot concerts and live streams, everything. Like I had a good relationship with the owner, so
Okay.
that was the way to go for me.
Shit, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's your setup for live stream?
I don't really do live stream much,
Okay.
but we literally just throw some GoPros on and say, "Here you go," and whatever happens, happens.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Because if you can constant power a GoPro, you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. It'd be interesting to just kind of see what went on that like not the average person's gonna see.
Oh yeah, and you can see some interesting things for sure, especially if you're hiding in certain areas. Like Bourbon Room was 2 levels, and to get into their where they had everything wired, you had to crawl into this little pit almost. So you can see some interesting stuff in there. And then we hooked GoPros there. We hooked them all across the whole floor at one point, or the balcony. So it's just a different aspect of everything.
That's
Nice.
definitely a good way to look at like recording concerts and not.
Mhm.
You don't really have to be there shooting.
Yeah,
You
I can
can
sit
be.
in the back and control it all with my phone
Mhm.
or my iPad, just ding, 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 and because they're
Yeah.
all connected to the
Yeah.
GoPro app and stuff. So
What lenses do you typically like use for concert shooting?
go-to is the 16 to 35 f2.8 because super wide and it's a fast lens. And then a lot of people like the 70 to 200 2.8. I go to the 4. It's a lot lighter. You don't need as much weight, and it still shoots just as sharp. Like for me, I'm a big guy. I carry on 2 cameras. It gets heavy, so
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
f4 being twice or half the weight works out nicely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is
I
it-
have the 2.8.
Yeah, so that's a heavy lens.
Yeah, it's a big
Oh my
one.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the 5D Mark IV, the battery grip
Yeah.
on it.
So do you have the one with IS or without IS?
With the eye, you need
Okay,
IS,
yeah.
Because otherwise, it just doesn't do
Because
it.
the 7200 without it, it's like the smallest thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I've shot with everything. I had
Mhm.
a 150 to 600. I shot the Backstreet Boys with from like the crowd way the hell back,
Yeah.
And those are nice, but if you don't have a full tripod and everything, no point.
Yeah.
But yeah, 600s are nice to do with sometimes. But
Damn. What's like the most popular artist, like in your perspective, that you've kind of shot, or even your favorite artist to photograph?
my favorite was Snoop Dogg. 100%. That was one of the best shows we've done. It was the most complicated one because just the logistics behind everything was an absolute nightmare. We didn't even get to meet him because a couple people rushed the back of the stage and his people basically shoved him out the door and said, screw everyone else, which sucks. I hate it. That was the worst thing ever. But best show, like listen to the whole album, the Doggy Style album, and shooting it. Can't complain with that.
Oh, I bet.
That's crazy.
I
Blues
mean,
Fest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that
Or-
wasn't Blues Fest. We booked him in Toronto.
Okay.
Oh,
So I didn't even get to see him at Blues Fest because I was shooting someone else, and that was a whole different story. But I was right up front in Toronto. We had him, Peter Jackson, and Chrissy Spratt, and someone else I think too was opening up. But we had them right in Toronto, so right up front, like you're here with Snoop Dogg. I've got some interesting pictures. So
damn.
That's insane.
That'd have been sick to like actually get backstage and like show him the shots. And
oh, we
stuff
were
like
hanging
that.
out with the rest of his crew. Like,
Okay.
we got them a whole bunch of weed and everything like that. And
Yeah.
at the end of the night, they're like, guys, we're crossing the border, so here, and they dumped the rest of it on the table for us. We're talking a couple ounces of weed. They were sitting there going, we don't need this anymore. Here you go. And
Shit.
yeah, like Warren G and everyone was there, so it was fun. Like I just didn't. The only person we didn't really get to kick it with was Snoop,
Yeah.
and he was like from here to there kind of thing. It's like, hey,
Okay.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. But I mean, I've shot like Nelly, Classified. Well, actually, another good show with the Canadian Classics tour, Classified, Chauclair, Maestro Fresh West. Greatest hip hop guys in Canada, really. And they did the whole country back and forth, so we got to do that one, which was pretty cool.
Shit. That's pretty sweet. Any crazy stories from shooting?
I mean, we've got some weird stories, drunken people. I do a bit of everything. So I'll shoot, I'll play bouncer, I'll play doorman, I'll do whatever needs to be done. I mean, we've had to kick some people out. I've had my life threatened a few times. But I mean, I kind of laugh it off because I mean, a big guy, people don't typically say mean things to me. They look at me and say, "Okay, I'm sorry." And
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. We've had weird requests for riders. That's been fun.
What do you mean like that?
Like when they come in, they want, snacks and stuff like that in the green room. One guy at the end of it wanted a plain baked potato. That was all he wanted at the end. No sour cream, no nothing. Like just a straight up plain baked potato at the end of his set. I mean, and you look at that and you go, what the hell? We were at Algonquin at the time, and like, where are we going to get a baked potato? Luckily enough, chances are it's right across the street, and call them up and they're like, are you sure just a plain baked potato? I'm like, yeah, okay. Got him a baked potato. Nothing really crazy though. I mean, Fetty Wap tried to fight some kids at one point. That was kind of interesting.
That's so weird. Like his fans are like just
his
like
fans,
haters.
like they were out. He was having a bad day. Something happened at home. I'm not really sure what, so I won't speak to that too much. But he was coming out. We were walking him out the door, and these kids were there. Classic fans. Hey, can we get a signal? He went at them to like say, "Get the fuck out of here!" And we had to hold him back and say, "Get in the car and get out." Like he was going to get arrested.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a really nice guy. Don't get me wrong. He's having a bad day, but like these were like 12-year-old kids. And you get this big guy running at you. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Damn. Do you normally use like flash at your concerts? Or
Never.
No?
Never use flash.
What's the reason behind that?
I mean, artists don't like flash, so you're not allowed to shoot with it typically. But I mean, I can get away with it without it. I can use settings on my camera. Lighting is usually decent at shows. So
yeah, just
shoot, pray and spray, and just shoot as much as you can and get a couple of good pictures out of it. And it works out.
Yeah.
But I literally never bring a flash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially if you know how to edit, that always works too and stuff like that.
So I mean, if you look at my pictures, what you see is very rarely ever edited.
Okay.
Like as little as it can be. I try to leave it from the camera. I might have to tweak, some Kelvin or something like that just to bring some stuff down or some clarity to bring some things up. But very rarely do I do any edits to those things.
And you normally post them in like color and stuff like that, eh? Or do you
I mean, black and white sometimes.
Okay.
If you get that feel like we did NWA, like Eazy-E's Son.
Yeah.
I had the perfect black and white picture for that. It looked like an album cover almost, and so post the black and white. Why not? But It depends, whatever the mood strikes me, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like I just posted Kane Brown before we came here, and that was color because that's the perfect color picture. It doesn't
Yeah.
need anything else.
That's fair.
It was like outdoors at Boots and Hearts Festival, so
Okay.
the sun's coming in at different
Mhm.
angles and stuff like that, and works out better.
So like your company gets gigs like all over Canada type of thing.
Yeah, well, like I was saying earlier, I was talking to the guys from Astronomicon. They're in Michigan, so
Okay.
we're doing some promo stuff for them, and gonna have an interview dropping with Twisted whenever I finish it at this point, and a couple more guys. But whoever comes up, I'll do whatever it is.
Shit. Where's the furthest you've traveled to then?
I was in Winnipeg a couple
Oh yeah.
couple
you told
different
us about
weeks
that.
doing some different things. Didn't really work out the greatest out there, but I got to fly my drone on top of a hotel, so that's
There you go.
That's pretty,
super illegal, but it looked cool.
that's pretty sweet.
That's what counts, man. You didn't
Like
get caught
right
either.
in Winnipeg or outside of
Oh,
it?
like right in downtown Winnipeg. Like we're talking
Oh shit.
like
Okay.
15 minutes from the airport, and I'm on top of the hotel droning around.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
The hotel, they were perfectly fine with it. I just had to sign a waiver that said if I fall off and die, it's not their fault.
Smart on their part.
Yeah, I mean, it works out, but they get photographers all the time because they're one of the tallest buildings, so they see it
Okay.
fairly often. And it's like, well, I got a drone too. They're like, okay.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure they don't know the regulations for
Yeah.
it, so they don't care.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
Good to know if I ever go to Winnipeg again.
Yeah.
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 Shit.
Do you have any advice for like anyone starting out trying to get established in the concert photography world?
Just go and shoot and learn. Just practice as much as you can. There's no real hit or miss to anything. You just got to figure out what your style is. I've seen some people shoot some, very dynamic stuff, but then edit it really flat, which to me is a little weird. But if that's you, that's you. That's gonna do that. But just practice all the time. Have your camera with you, and don't just walk into a concert assuming you're allowed to shoot. You would not believe how many photographers we get at concerts. Like, I don't book shows myself with Hidden Beats. I help with a promotion agency doing it.
Okay.
So we kind of tag team, and I back end things for him, and I'm the strong man that he needs at the door if he needs to. But we've had 16 photographers at a concert one time at Bourbon Room, so that fills the whole front stage. Like, there's no point. Like, why have that?
Yeah.
And that's just because there's everyone and their grandmother's a photographer these days, so they think they want to come out and try. So practice, but also come at it correctly. Ask to get in. Don't just come and assume.
Yeah.
That's my biggest pet peeve for sure.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
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 Whenever you're starting out, how did you normally like network at concerts to like be able to get backstage and get those photos with the artist?
A lot of it started out at first just hanging out with the promoter and being the guy that he needed to have by his side, just doing all that fun things like running around. And I have to, whenever we do an Algonquin show, for instance, I always manage the local guys at this point. So whenever they had come in, I make sure they're here, sound checked and all that stuff. Well, the promoter does his other things. So the management at Algonquin knows me, and they let me have free reign back there when I'm part of the show, so I can go back and get my pictures or whatever I need to do. And it's just being with the right people. It's really who you know.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like everything.
Yeah,
It's all about
everything is who you know. That's really
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So did you start video first or photography?
I mean, I started doing video stuff way back when we were like, me and my boys were 16. We did Jackass videos.
Yeah.
So I've got some of those on YouTube in a spot that not very many people can see, but we did some stupid stuff, and I like doing video from there. And it just kind of, I'm more of a graphic artist actually, though. I draw all the time, where I don't much anymore, but I started doing that, and video was kind of fun. And then it just kind of went back and forth, and went into school and just did nothing with it for a long time, and went into college in Algonquin, picked up a camera again, and just went with it from there. So it was kind of a mix, but video was kind of where everything started.
Okay.
Way back when, like 2000. Yeah, like 2000, I think.
What do you mainly shoot now? Photography?
50-50, whatever comes up.
50? Okay.
I mean, I don't like to shoot video with concerts as much, just because it doesn't get me anywhere.
That's fair.
Someone's going to watch a pro or like a recap once, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help me any. So photos always tend to go a little bit more, but I do promos for a lot of different things too. So I have a couple kind of in the works right now that I can't really speak to, but if they come through, then video work will be really nice for those.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Like there's some big ones too. Like I've gotten connections with a lot of the A&R people in that now. So I get some of the bigger artists that want small promo videos for their tours, and here you go. I can do that in a couple minutes. Put a quick clip together, minute-long Instagram video.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty sweet, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy. Damn. What's your like top 5 tips for shooting concerts?
Top 5 tips. Position yourself quickly. Don't wait until the end and try to work your way up front, because it never works out. Shoot as many angles as you can. Shoot as many pictures as you can, because a concert, you're never going to get that feeling again. The lighting's always different. The guy's always moving. Who's ever on stage, doesn't matter. Shoot 2,000 pictures a show if you have to. Just shoot everything you can. And try to be unique, because, I mean, you get 4 or 5 photographers in one spot. It's all going to look the same. It's never like shooting Blues Fest. There's only so many spots you can go in the front of the stage, and your pictures are typically going to look the same. So if you can find a unique spot, stick to it for a few minutes and grab some shots. Turnaround time is huge if you're actually being booked by a band or anything like that. Turnaround time, they need it that night. Like, they don't need it the morning after, because who cares the morning after? What else? It doesn't matter about your gear. That's one thing I'll tell a lot of people. If you can play with the settings on a camera, you can shoot a concert. I can shoot a concert with an iPhone. I mean, I'm not going to, because it's an iPhone.
Yeah.
But really, like, it's like I have all kinds of camera gear, but I started out on like a Canon T3, I think it's T3i or something like that, and that's how I started shooting, and I was able to get good shots. It's learn your camera really well too. If anything, that's probably the biggest thing. Learn your camera.
Yeah.
Big thing.
Yeah. Learn where you can push it to the max.
Exactly.
Mhm.
If you know how to play with your settings, you can do anything.
Oh yeah.
You don't need a flash. You don't need this and that. Like, I've seen some guys come in with full like video lights on top of their camera to shoot photography, and I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? It's like a full LED panel and blinds everyone else out. The artists don't like that, and you're still shooting photography with it. I'm like, you don't need that crap. There's enough light here.
Yeah.
Even a T3 can pull off the.
Yeah, I shot T5 as well.
Yeah,
like
like-
you can do it.
Mhm.
Worst comes to worst, black and white.
Well, that's it too. You can
Like-
always tweak everything that way. And you can get different, really cool feelings and shots. But
Yeah.
just learn your camera. That's the biggest thing. And I got Canon cameras just because I picked them up when they were on sale. I don't pay full price for anything, just because everything's expensive.
Yeah.
And Canon at the time was the one that was on sale. I picked it up, and I've just stuck with that ever since. But, every camera is good. Nikon, Sony, all that stuff. So I'm not going to be a component to say, go buy a Canon camera because of this.
Yeah.
Although I do prefer Canon glass over most other things.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But it's just all about learning your camera, because I find some people just don't know how to use a camera.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
What Canon cameras are you running for concerts then?
I have a 5D Mark III as my main, 6D backup.
Okay.
And then if I'm really getting fancy, I bring out the C200 to shoot some video with. If I feel like it. That's not very often though.
How do you like the C200?
It's fun. I can't complain. I got a deal through Canon for it, so
There you go.
Yeah. Not bad.
yeah. They I got a business rep with them, so they contacted me and said, we have this offer. I said, okay. And yeah.
Not a bad deal, man. Not a bad deal.
Yeah, like I said, I don't pay full price. So
Yeah.
it's if I get something that comes up to me that says, hey, you want this at this price, okay, and it's like directly from Canon, so I won't say no to something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're saving thousands of dollars on things, why not?
Oh,
Like all my lenses I've got dirt cheap, like Best Buy closing stores like that. You go get their display models. Nobody touches them. They're just there as a display.
Yeah.
They might get used a little bit, but you can still get warranties and everything on them. So pay a quarter of the price for $2,000 lens. Why not?
damn, that's smart.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Nah, Kijiji, man.
If you, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a component of buying used. Like everyone who owns a professional camera typically takes really good care of their stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're selling something, you go test it out, make sure the focus rings work, things like that. But they're usually pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Damn, I need to start doing that when I buy more gear.
Yeah, you buy straight brand new.
I just buy brand new. I don't care.
Well, I mean, hey, if that's what you have to do, you have to do. But I've lucked out a lot. One of my favorite all around lenses is the 135 f2. Super sharp. It's got a nice distance to it, and those things sell brand new for like almost $2,000 still. I got it for 500. And the only thing that's wrong with it, it had a little bit of a scuff mark where the tripod, like where the ring would be on it. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, how was that?
Like, $500. I'm like, I'll take it right now. If you have another, I'll buy two.
Yeah,
sell it,
flip it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
I've done that though. I've got someone who just really wanted to part with their stuff, and I bought a whole package of things and started flipping other things. Yeah. Why not? It's another revenue stream, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, the 135, man. I think we shot once with it.
Yeah,
Algonquin.
Yeah.
Oh, such a nice lens.
Such a nice lens.
It's an amazing lens. Like I when I got it, I was like, perfect. This is the one I want right now.
Yeah.
I shot. I got some really cool shots of Machine Gun Kelly at Blues Fest 2 years ago with that one. The light, like the shot is so perfect, and crisp. It doesn't matter what you do to it.
Yeah.
Do you ever end up printing any of the shots that you take?
Surprisingly, no.
No?
I keep on saying I'm going to, and it's just like, yeah, I'll do that, and it's like, damn it. I even said to my girlfriend before I left today, I'm like looking at my computer, I said, I gotta print some of these. Like, I have a really good shot of Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace on my wallpaper on my computer. And I'm like, that's an amazing shot. I should really print that. And I never have.
Yeah. Just go over to Costco. Like, it's cheap.
Yeah.
And I've heard the work's not too bad.
Okay. Well, I mean, at some point I'm going to. I really need to. I want to put them on my wall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Although I got too many things on my walls as it is now. I don't know how I could do that.
Stock it up.
I'm a big collector of like autographs and stuff like that too. If I can meet someone and get an autograph poster, cool.
Yeah.
So I've got this past year's Blues Fest, I got their poster with Wu-Tang signed it.
Shit.
I'm like, okay, well that's on my wall in a frame, of course. Like that's the one.
Yeah.
I've got Bare Naked Ladies. I've got Mariana's Trench. Who else do I have? I got MC Hammer from 2001's Blues Fest too.
Shit.
That was just a fun one to have. Like it's just whatever. Yeah. But I also do things like the Comic Cons and that. So I've met people like Adam West and Stan Lee, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I've got all those guys on my wall too.
Damn.
I don't have room for anything.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Damn. Is there anyone you plan on shooting this year?
Well, we got Pauly D coming up next.
Right.
If he shows up. I mean, fingers crossed. He's been absent a couple times now, so we'll see. We've got Black Alicious 25th anniversary.
Yeah. DSLRs, man.
Yeah.
Every half an hour.
Yeah, that is what it is. But yeah, we got Black Alicious 25th anniversary tour coming up. Cameron's 15 year. Purple Haze or something. I don't remember the poster off the top of my head, but those are the three coming up next, 3 concerts. And I've also got Jesus, I don't even know. Let me take a quick look and see. I've got them all in just a calendar, so who knows what actually comes up next.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I definitely want to try and get back into Blues Fest again this year. I don't remember the lineup, but
it hasn't really been released much yet. They got Marshmello, who's the biggest name out right now.
Okay.
So I mean, good, but not the greatest lineup yet.
Yeah.
Jim Cuddy's coming up next. Another show we've got.
Okay.
Tebe at Algonquin.
This is just Ottawa stuff for the most part, eh?
Yeah, I've got so many other things in here. I'm also sponsoring Sing Out for Chio. It's a competition that they're trying to get emerging artists out in there for that too.
Okay,
that's cool. Coming up in February. Yeah, I've got about 35 bookings on deck right now.
Shit.
All the way up until September. My biggest one I'm holding my breath for is Green Day.
Oh, that
Green Day in Toronto, like I think it was. Geez, I don't remember now either. See, that's gonna bug me until I look at it too.
Green Day, yeah,
that's crazy.
That'd be pretty cool.
And I'm aiming if I can pull it off for an interview with them.
Afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I was supposed to
didn't even
do
write
the
it
interview with Wu-Tang, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, so that would have been sick.
Oh, man, we just missed it, but yeah.
I didn't even write it down on the calendar properly, so I don't even know who Green Day's with that day. Because I know they have some guys opening in different cities and stuff like that. So
Okay.
who knows? But yeah, Green Day's gonna be big, and Rascal Flatts actually. That's another one.
Okay. Yeah.
Country artists. They were actually one of my first concerts, and they're calling it quits. So I'm gonna go shoot that one hopefully.
Yeah.
Is that here in Ottawa or in Toronto?
In Toronto, yeah.
Oh, okay. How do you get those Toronto gigs?
They're hard. You gotta know the right people. Because
Okay.
you can apply for them through Live Nation, things like that. But if you don't have a name there, they don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah, so I know a couple A&R people that can hopefully put my name in the right places. We'll see. If not, I'm just gonna buy tickets and go anyways, just
Yeah.
because. Bring my camera with me and hope for the best. But yeah, Toronto shows are hard.
Yeah. They don't normally let you in with cameras and stuff, hey, or do they?
No, if you have a
Detachable
detachable
lens.
lens camera, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you go get like the Sony GX7s or whatever they're called with the super zooms on them that you can shoot from anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Good enough.
Or even film cameras.
Yeah, that would be okay too.
Yeah, because like I have my Olympus stylus.
Yeah,
so
just make sure you have
Yeah.
800 ISO.
yeah.
Yeah.
Depends, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even the new iPhones now with their zoom stuff, they're pretty
Oh,
they're
yeah.
pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
I shot with an iPhone actually Carrie Underwood way back when from 300 section and still got some good pictures.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know how the hell I pulled that off. but-
300s. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I mean, it's cropped like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And it's still a little bit grainy, but you can see the picture. So
There you go.
Shit.
this should be on my Instagram somewhere too.
That's not too
Crazy.
bad.
Yeah.
Any personal projects you do, or is it just mostly client-based stuff?
Whatever comes up,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start trying to put together some promo material, like mini commercials, I guess.
Okay.
I don't do enough business stuff. I should. Like I was saying earlier, I don't advertise whatsoever, so it's all word of mouth. If someone wants something, they come to me. I shot a wedding this past summer, which led into a relationship with that business now. The bride owns. She has a new business, so we have a relationship with that. It kind of word of mouth for me is the biggest thing, and
Yeah.
just because I don't have time to do everything by myself. I've got people who work with me. And I say with me because I don't say for me, because we all collectively work together. Like
Yeah.
I count on them to do things, and they know they can count on me for whatever. And we're a team. We want to build together, and that's it. So I know they don't work for me; they work with me for sure.
Yeah.
And then, if we can get more stuff, we'll figure it out as we go. But nothing really big yet, anyways. Maybe another. We did a feature length a couple years ago, which sucked. We'll see if we can do a better one this year. Who knows? It was bad. It was just bad. The director was a clown. He actually quit the whole movie, was scrapping the whole thing within the last 3 scenes. Like I literally shot this whole thing with him. He fired his first director of photography. So I took over. I was just a backup camera guy at the time and took over everything, and then he quit. And I said, what the fuck? The actors are all going, we did this whole thing for like a year. What's going on?
That's crazy. Was it paid?
They got paid like $100 maybe. I didn't get paid shit.
Holy fuck.
It was more of a volunteer thing, and if there was money he would pay them. So I said, screw it. We shot the last scenes and we just never put it together. I just have them for clips if we need to help for demo reels, things like that.
Okay. So at least you can use it for something.
That's it. Like I have all
Wasn't
the
just a
stuff,
waste
and
of
it's like,
time.
okay, at least there's something I can pull out of that. But oh my god, that was a nightmare. Nightmare. Like we're talking, we went to like Wendover every weekend to shoot this stuff, and no food, no nothing. You're just in a field. Like, oh, it was crazy.
Oh my god.
No food, nothing.
Why did you
That's
sign up for
crazy.
this?
Well, I had something new to shoot, and I was like, hey, why not?
Yeah.
And it was the director of photography, my buddy, he brought me on.
Oh, okay.
And then we already got like kind of third of the way through, and when they had their blow up and he left, I was like, okay, well, sure, I'll give it a shot and see.
Yeah.
It was bad though. I wouldn't do that again unless it was properly prepared. Oh, bad.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us, actually?
Well, what got you guys started in photography? I mean, I've followed you guys for a little bit now, and how did you guys come to do this?
For me, I originally started out with like just kind of wanting a GoPro,
Okay.
and then got a GoPro. Used to just film random snowboarding stuff,
Yeah.
and like my grandpa and my dad also just do photography, and like my
Okay.
grandpa does video, like just for the fun of it. He
Okay.
he goes to like he used to build a lot of trains and stuff like that, and
Oh,
go
nice.
like drive them around. So he's just doing video and stuff there. And then it's funny because it actually turned out that like, so my parents wanted me to go to college, coming around to that time. I was like, I like cameras and stuff like that. I like
Mhm.
photography. I have a camera. Fuck it, let's take this
Take it to the next
quote
level.
unquote bullshit course in college just to like
Yeah.
say that I went and I have something,
Yeah.
So I kind of did that, and then basically just kind of fell in love with it more and more, and then started doing less college work and then more photography
Yeah.
work, and then it comes around to like, hey, your grades aren't high enough. And then it was either I go back for another year and potentially get asked to leave, or I just kind of drop out, and
Just
I
go
chose
for
to
it.
drop out.
Yeah.
Said fuck it, but still glad I went.
Yeah. I mean, it's an
And-
experience. So.
Oh, exactly. I learned a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have learned on my own for the most
Mhm.
part, like a lot of studio stuff and lighting and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much kind of how I got about
Okay.
photography.
Yeah. What about you, Frank?
Yeah. If we go way back, so every trip, like my family every summer, like they're teachers, right?
Okay.
So they have 2 months as well. So we'd go for trips all the time, and my dad had a film camera. He'd always shoot on that. So then they got me this like this little Canon point and shoot,
Yeah.
those power shots. What is it?
Yeah.
The little ones.
I've had a few of those.
Oh yeah, 6 megapixels,
Yeah.
top quality, pristine. So I'd use that for a bit, like just mess around until I fully knew the camera, even
Mhm.
if it's the smallest thing ever. I like learned everything about it.
Yeah.
We went to London for a trip, like in the UK, because
Yeah.
my family's from there too. And then, man, like this one shot just inspired me. It's like we were in the mountains. It was raining, and what we saw was like a bunch of sheep just in the mountains, just climbing up.
Okay.
So I took this camera, zoomed into the max, obviously,
Yeah.
shot it, and it looks like it was like a painting,
Okay. Cool.
like just right out of camera.
Yeah.
It's just like the rain was just falling. It was like probably like a slow shutter somewhat on it or
Mhm.
something. I don't no idea, but yeah, it was just a sick shot. After that stuff stopped, didn't touch it much.
Oh,
Went
yeah?
more graphic design and like old school art, airbrushed a bit.
Okay.
That was dope. And then my girlfriend at the time was a horseback rider.
Okay.
So I did shots for that stuff for like 2 years. Kind of got bored.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Right.
only so many horse shots you could take. Yeah.
The same shit. They
Yeah.
jump. What was it? Rebel
You're talking about
Rebel
the
X,
originals?
XS.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Oh,
first
like
one.
one of the
The first ones.
Yeah.
XSI or XS. Yeah, I was shooting like sports, like with that, which was trash.
Interesting, I imagine.
Got some sharp shots,
Yeah.
surprisingly, with kit lenses.
Well, that's it. I mean,
But hey.
that's it. Like I said, if you know your camera, you can do a lot of things with it.
Exactly.
I've shot a bunch of animal stuff too, just gonna have fun with that. And I got a really amazing shot of a bald eagle come in for a landing at one spot.
Shit.
It's just knowing your camera. I don't have a fast
Yeah.
sports lens or anything like that,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
can't spend $14,000 on one of those.
Yeah, just learn your gear.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really matter,
Mhm.
honestly.
Is
Yeah.
there any like I mean, you guys do a lot of portraits and stuff like that. Is there anything you want to venture into more?
Video.
Just video stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
For the most part, like video, actually like full on planning out shoots and
Okay.
like from like
The whole storyboard, everything.
Oh yeah, I got one going on right now
Okay.
for like this summer. We talked about it in the last episode, but
Oh, I think I heard about that a bit. Yeah, I was watching that recently.
and then yeah, so I have planning that out that I'm doing the summer. Like got photo ideas and stuff like that. Planning out a whole shot list of a video I want to do. Got outfits already planned out. Location, one model. I still need to find another model for it, but just kind of practicing more video, leveling up my work, and just kind of getting better at it.
Yeah. And like that's one thing I'll say for sure. Plan a video, like spend double the time planning than it takes to shoot it.
Oh yeah,
100%. I've always had that issue. I'm a guy who plans, and I've always walked into stuff that's been not planned at all, and it frustrates the crap out of me. And I have to take over and be like, no, do this, do this, do this, screw off, and fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I can't just go out and shoot anymore.
Yeah.
Like, which in a way sucks, but like it doesn't suck. Like,
Well, yeah, it's you trying to level up and
Mhm.
do some different things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like once you start planning, you just can't go back.
Oh god.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like a buddy's like, oh, let's do a shoot in outdoors. I'm like, what do you have for cons? I'm like,
Yeah,
you know, like
it's-
just walk in the forest and shoot. I'm like, I'm like, all right, let me plan this whole crazy shoot just for you, just because I can't shoot just normal stuff.
Well, that's why I've tried to shoot portraits and things like that. I've shot family stuff and a few things, but I don't, because I don't have the patience to plan that shoot. Like I can go in and shoot all kinds of stuff and try to get you to pose different ways, but what's the concept and what are you going to do? And it just looks forced to me, and I'm like, I can't mentally do that because I've got 13 other things on my mind, and why bother? I'm a good concert photographer.
Yeah.
I'll stick with that for now.
Yeah.
And animals. I love animal shots. Those guys, because you can never tell what they're going to do, so you can always have some fun things.
Oh, definitely. True. Have you been to where's that zoo that's always open? Like Quebec or Montreal?
Park
Omega. Yeah. Have you been there?
I got some crazy shots from there.
Yeah.
First time I ever went though was just with a kit lens and things, and I'm like, oh, this I can't do this, I can't do this. So I went with a big lens the next time, and I got some. I'll have to dig them up somewhere, but I've got thousands of shots from there. I want to figure out actually doing like one of the tours where you can go in and get like real up close with a lot of these animals
Oh, okay.
and get some fun things like that.
Yeah, that'd be definitely sweet. Something we should check that out this year, just for the shits of it.
Why not?
Something to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's Papanak Zoo. As much as people hate them, they have a photo option. You can go in, pay it's like $150, and you get to go behind the fence for some of the animals and get up close and actually get to interact with them a little bit more. But I mean, everyone hates Papanak Zoo right now from all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I've got some really crazy shots from there though. I've got a 14-day-old lion cub that we got to play with.
Damn.
And it's the cutest friggin' picture ever. And it was literally just with one of the trainers holding him walking through the park.
Wow, that's pretty
I was
pretty
like,
cool.
Oh crap, like that's an amazing little
Yeah.
picture there. And I got 6-month-old wolf cub. I think his name's Loki. And we were playing with him. He's a dog, like, so you can play with him, and he's up there chewing on your hand. So we got to horse around with him. We got a fox out one time to do some stuff.
Damn.
One of the pictures on my website, I have a bear actually nuzzling my face, like a black bear. She loved my beard. It was insane.
Like a
And-
full size black.
Oh yeah,
bear? Jeez.
it was. And the grizzlies were next door, and those guys were intimidating. This black bear was actually kind of cute, and she was come like, you sit in this chair and you just don't move because they tell you not to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're trained and stuff like that, so they know what they're doing. But she loves beards, and she comes right up in my face and just kind of nuzzling, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like that was a really awesome experience. I went next door to the grizzlies, and you're not allowed getting that close to the grizzly bears, so they had him 5 feet behind me. He stood up on his hind legs and roared.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the warmth of his breath on the back of my neck, that freaked me out a little bit.
I bet.
Oh, I bet.
Man.
Man.
I'm an animal lover, don't get me wrong, but like, whoo. Just thinking of that, it's like, oh god, yeah. I'm the guy who says like, I want to go in and like wrestle a wolf. Like I'll do whatever, but that bear, that put a different sensation into me.
Jeez, eh?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think we should wrap up this episode and
Let's
do the
go.
next one. Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in for part 1 of the Hidden Beats episode. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2, which comes out on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Make sure to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff, and give us a nice 5-star rating or just a rating in general on iTunes or Spotify. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at Born to Create Podcast. Check me out on the line at acef.media.
You're stealing my line.
Yeah.
Same thing, François Mittens or françoismittens.ca.
And where can people find you?
Hidden Beats, just Google that, you'll find me anywhere.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out and stay woke.